In our last session, we discussed ultrasound markers of aneuploidy, from nuchal translucency and nasal bone to Doppler findings. Today, let's continue that discussion by moving to the biochemical side of screening. Aneuploidy is the presence of one or more extra chromosomes, usually resulting in trisomy or loss of a chromosome, monosomy. Of recognized pregnancy with chromosomal abnormalities, trisomy 21 accounts for approximately half of the cases, trisomy 18 accounts for 15% of the cases, and trisomy 13 for 5%. And the sex chromosomal abnormalities 45XO, 47XXX, 47XXY, and 47XYY for approximately 12%. The risk for fetal trisomy increases with maternal age, particularly after age 35. The positive predictive value of all aneuploidy screening tests is higher for women aged 35 years and older. Other important aneuploidy risk factor includes a numerical chromosomal abnormality or structural rearrangement in these women or the partner, such as a balanced translocation or a prior pregnancy with autosomal trisomy or triploidy. There are two types of aneuploidy screening tests: those that are analyte based and those that are cell-free DNA based. Cell-free DNA based screening is more sensitive and specific than analyte based screening, and it has a much higher positive predictive value. However, analyte based screening test has the unusual benefit that an abnormal result may indicate a genetic abnormality for which screening was not specifically performed. ACOG emphasizes that no screening method is ideal for all patients. Screening only provides a risk estimate. Confirmation by invasive testing is essential before clinical action. In certain clinical situations, aneuploidy screening should not be used. When a major structural abnormality is detected, the appropriate next step is diagnostic testing with amniocentesis or CVS. A negative screening result does not eliminate risk, as it may be falsely reassuring and cannot exclude genetic syndromes beyond the scope of routine screening. Analyte based screening results must be interpreted with caution in conditions that alter maternal serum AFP, such as neural tube defects or ventral wall defects. In these situations, an abnormal AFP may point toward a structural anomaly, but it does not automatically invalidate the entire screen. Rather, it complicates interpretation and requires correlation with ultrasound. In addition, all aneuploidy screening methods have reduced accuracy in twin gestations and are not validated for triplets or higher order multiples. Aneuploidy screening should be an informed patient choice and incorporates the patient's clinical circumstances, values, interests, and goals. Counseling should be individualized. In this session, we covered the principles and limitations of analyte based screening compared with cell free DNA. In our next video, we will look at multiple marker serum analyte screening in detail, including first trimester, second trimester, and integrated approaches.